every content creator on the planet tried to gaslight you into thinking there was going to be some major announcement at Summer Game Fest, what did we get? A bunch of trailers for games that nobody cares about, nobody wants to play. Street Fighter 6 DLC featuring Bosch, a character that nobody cares about. You got Final Fantasy 7R Part 3, when I never even finished the original when it was so shit. You got Power World 1.0. We're finally getting the release of this piece of shit, so we can finally move on from it and stop talking about it. We got sequels. We got Western developed games. We got remakes. We got absolutely jack shit of value. Okay? Like, other than Street Fighter 6, nothing looks good to me. Okay? Like, this was a complete train wreck of a show. And I'm so glad I didn't try reacting to it. I'm glad I wasn't like Max Dude or Arlo. I'm glad I'm not Jeff Keighley's bitch. Like, oh, please, Jeff Keighley, please give me a cut of that IMAX money. Please. Oh, I'll hype up your show, Jeff. I'll watch the Game Awards, Jeff. I'll do anything if you give me industry access. Like, fuck that. That isn't going to happen. So, I spent my day doing other things, okay? I spent my day producing other videos, okay? I spent my day, playing games. I spent my day cleaning my house. I spent my day editing my books. I spent my day preparing for the rest of my life, okay? I enjoyed my day while everybody else was trying to gaslight themselves into thinking that, like, Summer Game Fest is going to be good. I bet Nintendo is going to make a major announcement. Didn't happen. I saw so many people going into this thing trying to gaslight you into thinking that, like, Nintendo was going to come out swinging. They were going to have a direct in the middle of the show. This was going to be the platform in which they, like, unleashed their games upon the world, when they don't need to do that. The entire purpose of the Nintendo Direct format is to keep Western video game journalists from downplaying their games and hyping up shit like Power World, okay? You are never going to see Nintendo in a major capacity at these showcases. And this is a major example why. They are complete slop. And we're in this weird position where, like, game industry, journos, and YouTubers, every single time Jeff Keighley hosts these events, they always come out and try and say it's a big deal, it's a major event. Like, a lot of companies are going to make major announcements. Like, you're never going to see, like, a Grand Theft Auto reveal here, or, like, an actual game that someone actually cares about. Like, PlayStation did their showcase like a couple of days ago, okay? And that wasn't impressive. That wasn't good. The state of play was also shit. But, like, it also was, like, a full event from one publisher that was streamed directly to you. Like, you don't need Jeff Keighley. There is no reason to involve Jeff Keighley in the process at all. At all. Like, he is nothing but a massive boat anchor around this industry. And that's true for every single one of, like, his sycophants, okay? All the actors, all the Western game devs, all the journalists, all the YouTubers who went into this, because we were hearing for months, like, oh, man, Tifa's coming to Street Fighter 6. Tifa's coming to Street Fighter 6. First of all, nobody cares about Tifa, okay? She's a 90s video game character, okay, who only had one major appearance in Final Fantasy VII, okay? Tifa is a boomer's waifu, okay? Kids today aren't interested in Tifa, okay? They're going to look at, like, Season 4 of Street Fighter 6, and they're just going to go, like, who the hell is this? Okay, like, again, people are going to gravitate more naturally to more relevant characters. They're going to gravitate more towards the actual Street Fighter cast. Like, no one's going to give Tifa, like, a second glance, okay? Like, nobody cares, okay? This isn't going to be some, like, major culturally defining thing that makes, like, Final Fantasy VII, like, great again. Like again, like, we saw this happen with Soul Calibur 6, right? Where what was supposed to happen was that, like, Geralt of Rivia was in the game, and it was supposed to be this major deal and this major system seller. Like, Now, nobody even remembers Soul Calibur 6 came out. It failed, and we never got a sequel. Meanwhile, people like me go back and play Soul Calibur 2 and are nostalgic for how amazing Link was in that game. Like, again, if you needed any proof that The Legend of Zelda is an infinitely more evergreen and relevant brand than The Witcher, that's a really good example. Like, again, Link mogs the shit out of Geralt when it comes to Soul Calibur relevancy. And it's really not even close. Like, a lot of people, I'm sure, don't even remember he was in that game. Okay? Because Witcher fans don't play The Witcher. They don't play anything, really, other than just, like, I don't know, the sex scenes on YouTube. Like, oh, man, Geralt of Rivia is so cool. Look at him get tied up by both Yennefer and Trish. What is her name? Triss? Yeah, Triss. Yennefer and Trish. Like, again, that is like the mindset of the average Witcher fan. They are gooners, okay? They are tryhards who think dark fantasy makes it deep, okay? They think it makes it more complex. They think it makes it better or like more mature and more adult. And it's just a bad mindset to be in. And that's kind of the trend, I see watching these shows, like, is that they're so desperate for validation, okay? They're so desperate to be taken seriously by their audience. They're so desperate to, like, create the illusion that there's some popular, relevant show. And like, I just don't understand why we have to go through this song and dance every year now where, like, we have to pretend that Summer's Game Fest is the new E3. And that's kind of the direction that, like, Jeff is taking this, is that, like, E3 went bust because, nobody needs it anymore. So Jeff thought he could, like, replace that market and, like, control it absolutely with his IMAX fortune. And it's just not working. He's just bleeding money trying to get these shows off the ground to control the video game industry. And he's just hitting a massive roadblock because, in spite of the Western video game industry's, like, absolute control over that scene, over, like, the awards shows, and, like, in spite of, like, their control over the journalists and, like, the culture, like, the reality is nobody does anything other than play Japanese Nintendo games. And that's a problem that, like, Jeff is going to have to, like, deal with eventually. And I don't think he can do it, honestly. Like, he is going to be given, like, random awards and, like, showcasing games that fundamentally have no future. And we already saw this, like, last year at the Game Awards when, like, Nagoshi came out and promoted Gang of Dragon and stuff like that. Canceled, Earthblade, that got canceled. Like, again, we just see dozens of examples of this. Slitterhead, that came out and that was disappointing. Like, these Jeff Keighley shill shows are making a name for themselves for primarily promoting games that are not good enough for their own showcases. Okay? Nobody was going into this summer season, like, anticipating Summer's Game Fest. Everybody was anticipating the Nintendo Direct and what Nintendo would bring exclusively to Nintendo Switch 2. Again, nobody really seriously thought that Nintendo would make major announcements at Summer's Game Fest, except for YouTubers who desperately wanted people to tune into the show for the kickbacks, for the attention, so they could grift off of it. And it's something that people need to, like, push back against. Like, this was absolutely, positively disgusting. And it's something that we really, truly do need to speak out against.